All right, everybody, let's give a nice round of applause to Tall Trey Comedy. Yeah!
Yeah, dirty comic with kids here. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right, so, as most of you have probably noticed, yes, I'm tall. Thank you for pointing it out like complete pros. Just so I have the herd of you here, this is every conversation I have, all right? Oh my God, you're so tall. Like it happened last night, like it's some kind of Tom Hanks movie. Older people explain it to the younger people. It's a great movie. And then it's always followed by that next question. Well, how tall are you? Why? What do y'all do with this information? Do you go back to your shires and compare tall people you've met like Pokemon? Oh my God, this platinum 6'7" motherfucker right here. Like, come on. What do y'all do? Why? Do y'all have a running tally? Does it go the other way and you keep track of the shortest person too? Or is that, not allowed? It doesn't matter at that point. What's the next question, everybody? Do you play basketball? Because that's all tall people are good for. Yeah. Do you play miniature golf? Are you a horse jockey? Do you competitively limbo? No, I joined the Marine Corps. I took important shots, okay? Yeah, that one got a little dark. It's okay. It's gonna get worse. It doesn't matter what you say at this point. They're not listening. They're just waiting for you to shut up so they can tell you about tall people you don't know. Like we're all gonna gather back up and get on the mothership or something. Like, it doesn't make any kind of sense. And everybody's like, well, it's so great you're tall. It's so great. No, it's not. All right? Being tall sucks. You need any proof of that? Go in the bathroom. Why does the bathroom wall end at like 5'10"? Who is that helping? And for girls that don't put this together, I've wiped my ass and made eye contact with people. And I don't care who you are. That's awkward for everybody in the room. And half of y'all are like, all right, that's pretty screwed up. And the other half of y'all are like, hey man, why are you wiping while you're standing? That's fair, but it makes it easier to get to the toilet paper that's on the floor for some reason. Who is that helping? Maybe it helps little people. Great. They got to do a chin-up, take a shit, get down, wipe their ass, do a couple layups, and then parkour up to the handle that's on the tallest part of the toilet. I don't know. Y'all are like, wow, he's been on this bathroom bit for a while at a restaurant. Much like drinking dark rum. An hour later, that shit's going to come back, okay? Oh, tip of the iceberg, dear. Tip of the iceberg. Anybody want to know how blind people wipe their ass? No. See, one honest person, because everybody else just got really quiet because like, all right, I'm listening. Don't worry, I got y'all. All right, first they poop, just like you and me. And since kids are here, we're going to learn a little something. You ready, kids?
They're ready.
That's poop in sign language. Do with that whatever you want. Now you are bilingual. Thumb up, honey. You got to make sure it's got the tail. Other thumb. Thumb in the, there you go. No, the other thumb goes down. Otherwise, it looks like something else. Oh man, this is going off the rails. All right, this is why I don't do crowd work. All right, after they poop, they get a wet wipe. And if you are not using baby wipes, you are missing out on life, y'all. Just get that thing and just get that thing clean. Then they reach back and make sure there's no braille back there, okay? Yeah, y'all didn't see that one coming.
Braille.
Yeah, braille, the thing they read, there you go.
We understand.
Okay. Then they get toilet paper and dry everything up, all right? And then they do this, and I can't emphasize this step enough. They wash their hands. And if you're not laughing, you're not getting a high five after the show. I will quiz you. What color's the soap in there? So, as y'all kind of noticed, I'm kind of screwed up a little bit. I joined the Marine Corps and did 2 tours. I mean, I was screwed up before that, but that didn't help at all. And you know, being in the military, there's always this fiction about military grade. They think that's a selling point. And you know, to everybody except the military it is, because that grade is an F. All right? But we make the best stories, and they are military grade fucked up, all right? Just like this next one. It's about a DUI and a raccoon. Y'all ready? All right, now there is a Navy corpsman, right? Because they don't trust Marines with drugs. You'll figure out why later on in life. Now, if you get a DUI in California, your first DUI, imagine that, Georgia, they put a breathalyzer in your car. And you have to blow this thing every time you get in your car. And I'm not talking about a girl in high school, just, no, you gotta blow this thing like it's 2 8-balls deep, just. Just every ounce of lung capacity you have, okay? And not just the once to start it because you're seeing stars. Every 30 minutes, because you can't text and drive, but you better make sure your car is satisfied, okay? So he goes to the bar because Rear Admiral Murray told us that it is easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission. And he drinks to the suds because, well, that's what the Navy does. And he goes out, and wouldn't you know it, his car wouldn't start. Cheers. Now, what does the military always tell us, y'all? Adapt and overcome. Now, this part's not on the police report, but here's how my brain thinks it happened, okay? He can't get into his car, so he goes to the park. He tips over a trash can, braces it up, and uses a trash bag like a line, and catches a raccoon. Now, Peter, you're not going to like this next part. He takes the raccoon, puts it up to the breathalyzer, and plays this thing like a bagpipe till his car starts. Well, he's more than 30 minutes away from base, so he has to take the raccoon with him. So he's driving down the road, you know, 2 thumbs and 1 eye. And if you got that joke, shame on you. I use Morse code. Do-do, 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 do-do. No, take an Uber, seriously. So anyway, he's going. I like to think he buckled the raccoon in, put some sunglasses and a hat on him, you know, showed him some California love. But apparently Rocket wasn't feeling it and woke up, notably angry. Now, I'm usually team people, but this guy had it coming. The raccoon wakes up and attacks the guy, and he goes through a fence. And California is hugely anti-wall unless it's around a pool, which it was. So this guy drives into a swimming pool with a raccoon attacking him. Now, don't worry, the raccoon escaped, and that's bad news for the guy. And he landed in the shallow end, so he survived. But the funny thing is, if you get attacked by an animal and they can't find that animal, you have to get 10 8-inch long shots into your stomach. Even more fun fact, if you're drunk and go to the ER, they don't work on you till you sober up. So imagine that hangover scenario. Just, oh, my head, what happened? Dear God, Yeah. I'm just saying, maybe if the military was like, yo, you're going to get stories like this every Monday while somebody at your work gets busted down in pay, maybe the recruiting numbers would go up. Everybody having fun? Everybody doing good? Everybody drinking? All right, I got merch if y'all need it. T-shirts, bracelets, stickers, deluxe hugs. That's where your feet leave the ground. Now, I told that story. Do y'all want to hear a happy story about an animal?
Yeah.
All right. See Steve Irwin. This one's about my dog, all right? Now, we all love our pets, right? No, I'm the only person here with a pet? All right, wow. Whew, this one's gonna go great. So I have a black lab, right? And I love my dog, do anything for my dog, right? We all would, right? So she started to stink, right? And we've all played Find the Smell, right? I can't be the only poor person here. Don't let the suit fool you. It's dry clean only. Which means it's dirty. Mitch Hedberg, anybody? All right.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I give her a bath, like a good pet owner, but it's a real bath. It's not one of these Hollywood baths where the dog's happy, you know, let me tell you about my best friend, and all that's going on, right? This is a real 80 pounds of nope, nah, this isn't happening versus me and my bad knees. So I'm sitting there on the bed, right? The floor's wet, the couch is wet, she's wet. I wonder how many more of these I'm gonna win, right? And then it catches me. She still stinks. And the odor is coming from her lady parts. Now, I don't know where they keep the Vagisil in PetSmart, and I'm damn sure not gonna ask directions. So we go to the vet, because I figured that'll be a less awkward conversation. I don't know if you've ever told anybody about your pet's vaginal odor, but I assure you it is just as awkward as you think it is. So I get to tell the receptionist and the vet tech, and eventually the vet walks in. He's a dude, I'm a dude, we're all dudes, except for the dog. She's a girl, keep up. And he's like, Mr. Tall Trey Comedy on all social media, add, like, and subscribe. We're gonna need to run some tests. And I'm like, all right, yeah, that's what I'm paying you for. Do tests. And he's like, we're gonna need a urine sample. And I'm like, okay, how do you plan on getting that? And the vet tech gave that customer service sigh, you know, that mute button just, where I'm pretty sure part of their soul just left because it's that bad of a situation. And this college graduate goes over and gets a green aquarium net and a Ziploc bag. Smarter people, don't ruin it for the slower ones, okay? And this person that followed their dreams to help animals ran around behind my dog trying to catch pee like it was an R. Kelly video. Yeah, my brain's kind of screwed up. So I had the Benny Hill theme going, just and I tell y'all, it was almost worth the price of the visit. Almost. Well, they get the urine. My dog is livid. She won't even look at me. She's like, first a bath, now this. You know I'm gonna run away. Dog fighting's better than this. I'm calling Michael Vick. He's still making millions of dollars. I'm the wrong one here? Okay. We get inside. She's staring at a PETA poster. She can't even read. And the vet walks in and things got awkward. Because he walks in and he's like, Mr. Tall Trey Comedy, do you know what a vagina looks like? Now, agreed, I am not the best looking guy here, okay? But I do have the internet. And I'm like, please, go on, explain. Let's make this awkward for everybody. And he's like, all right, you got your dog fixed, which makes him live longer because you're a good pet owner. But some stuff moved around and her vagina actually sunk into her body and she kind of has a fat roll behind it. Or as I call it, the splash zone. And I'm like, well, this is awkward. I'm like, all right. And he's like, we have two options. I'm like, all right. He's like, the first one's kind of expensive. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm white. This is my pet, okay? There is nothing too good for my pet. If it includes her quality of life, we are going to do it. And then he said a couple of words, y'all, and I knew what all of them meant. He said, doggy, vaginal, cosmetic, surgery. And I assure y'all, that is just as expensive as it sounds. And I'm like, what's plan B? And he's like, we give her some antibiotics for 2 weeks. I'm like, done, let's do this. And he's like, but, and I'm over 35. Anytime a doctor says the word but, it is not a good thing. He's like, but you're gonna need to wipe her. I'm like, what? He's like, you're gonna have to carry around some baby wipes and wipe it. Sorry, that wasn't a good squeak sound. Little parched, my bad. Imagine the squeak sounds. Some SpongeBob sounds. All right. And I'm like, you know what? This is my dog. You know, for 2 weeks, I can wipe her and take care of her. And he's like, nah, man, that's just the thing you do now. So if you see me at the dog park, I am not a weirdo. I am not a creep. I am not a degenerate. I am a concerned pet owner.
Doggy daddy.
Yes. She turns 9 next month? Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'll give her some bacon. What do you do for a dog? They can't count. All right, you ready for the next story?
Yeah.
It's about skydiving with amputees. Yeah. So, again, veteran. Wounded Warrior hits me up and they're like, hey, you want to go skydiving? And I'm like, we're using civilian stuff, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. So I cruise down to Florida, and I know I'm a little different, right? I'm a little big. I'm like, I hope they're ready for me. Well, they were more than ready for me. I was the only person there with all of my limbs. And for those of you unfamiliar with skydiving, it is all about surface area and wind resistance, which turns it into like this life or death game of hokey pokey. Because if somebody's left arm's out, the skydiving instructor has to pull his right arm in. Otherwise, they do the hokey pokey, turn themselves around, and crash into the ground and die. And that's what the lawsuit's all about, okay? Well, I'm the easiest one, so they're not that in-depth with me. They're like, all right, you're going to get paired up with somebody. They're tied to your back. You jump out. You open up your arms when we tell you to. We'll worry about landing in a bit. I'm like, all right, cool. And I get paired up, of course, with the smallest human being I have ever seen as an adult. Like, this guy is 5 feet tall, just like Tom Cruise. So we have kind of like this Master Blaster thing going, or how to train your dragon for the little ones. I would be toothless. And I'm good with the idea, right? We're gonna jump out of plane. It's gonna be good. And we start heading towards the plane. And this Matchbox machine is the smallest plane I've ever seen in my life. It's like 2 of these chairs with a propeller on it. And I start to get nervous. Not because I'm about to jump or because of the plane or anything, because my skydiving instructor kisses his girlfriend. And just one of those, meh, see you later, babe. Yeah. She was packing our parachute. No. I'm like, are things good? When's the last time you got her flowers? 2 weeks? No, sir. You walk yourself back over there. You look her dead in the eyes. You tell her that she is beautiful, inside and out, and that even on her worst day, she will always be enough. Y'all feel free to use that one on Christmas, all right? And then you kiss her like my life's dependent on it, all right? And he takes number 2, knocks it out the park. I'm feeling good. We get in the plane, it takes off, and it's going up and up and up. And so is my anxiety. Now, if you have anxiety, your brain is constantly running all the time, right? And it just comes up with stupid stuff. Like, I'm about to jump out of a plane, and my brain's like, hey man, you know, if it doesn't work, you're gonna know it, not be able to do anything until you die? Let's just think about that for a couple of minutes, you know? And we get to the top, and they open the door. And me and this guy usually are good. There's usually glass between us like prison, you know? There's nothing. And if you skydive, you can't wear glasses. They give you plastic goggles because you're falling so fast, the air will hurt your eyes. So it kind of looks like a Van Gogh painting because I'm a little bit blind, just like in crayon, because, you know, I'm a Marine. And like the camera guy climbs out like Spider-Man, no big deal. And then me and the human backpack have to like scooch out. And I'm not a little spoon kind of guy, y'all, but I'm pretty sure he made it to second base. I hope it was good for him. And we scoot to the edge of the plane, and I'm looking over, and I just hear whomp, whomp. I'm like, what? And I look over, and he says, 3. And in super slow motion, high definition video, they have my brain processing 3. There are usually 2 sounds before, oh, as we start falling. Now, you know that dream where you're falling? We've all had that, right? This is nothing like that. I am falling the fastest I have ever fallen in my entire life. The ground just, I cannot express it in words. Well, with a parachute, there's a couple of steps, right? The first one, they throw the safety chute, which nobody tells you about. That's not in cartoons. That wasn't on Batman. None of it. It's just, you pull, you're good. Now, you got to pull this streamer thing that sets up the parachute to unfurl. And he does that. And we slow down a little bit, and we keep falling. And then he pulls the chute. And that's what happened, y'all. Nothing happened for over a second because the parachute has to unfurl and fill with air, which would have been great to talk about during the safety brief. So eventually, the parachute stops us or slows us down dramatically, however you want to phrase it. And we are circling the landing strip. And I realized they never went over how to land. I'm like, hey man, there's this thing coming up that we need to do, and I don't know how to do it, and your feet aren't going to touch if mine touch. Like, what are we going to do? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. You went to school, right? I'm like, not Catholic school. I don't know where this is going. I know we were friendly in there, but... He's like, no, you're not my type. Which hurt. He's like, you're going to pick your legs up, and we're just going to slide in like elementary school. I'm like, all right. And I pick my legs up, and I realize I am not as flexible as I was back then. And we slide in. And I didn't die. It was great. It was way better than using Delta. All right, y'all. We've had some fun. I have one more story, but I want to give something positive to this, because there's been stories of love and hope and survival and overcoming things, and I'm just shitting all over it. I'm sorry, y'all. But just remember, you know, you can be anything you want to be in this world. Anything that has ever been done was done by a human being just like you and me. You know, so if you're going to be something, you know, be somebody worth looking up to, all right? All right, fine. Let's go talk about me shitting everywhere then. So has anybody else here ever been to the Claremont Lounge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you warned?
No.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. My friends didn't warn me either. Cheers, everybody. And shots if you're drinking along at home. Now, my friend Metal Tom's like, yo, man, I got a metal show at a titty bar. Let's go. And I'm like, whoa, metal and titties, three of my favorite things. Let's do this. 1 + 2, 3. There you go. All right. No kid left behind. So I cruise up to Atlanta, and I drink in the parking lot because I'm financially responsible. I kill a freaking 5th of dark rum, y'all. I am feeling good. And he's like, yo, man, let's get in there. The show's about to start. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. And I walk to the door. And there is nothing to warn you on this door. No abandon all shame, ye who enter here. No, you can't unsee this. Not even a buckle up, bitches. Nothing. And I open this door, and there's a hostess with an eye patch. Y'all, I've been drinking rum, and in case you missed it, kind of an asshole. And I'm like, ahoy there, matey! Ha 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 ha! Wherefore is the rum? Shoot the cannons! Arr! And apparently this was a permanent fixture and not a costume, because 2 quotes came to my mind real quick. The first one, that eyes are the window into the soul. And the second, that if you stare into the abyss stares back into you. Because y'all, she flipped that eye patch. And there was no eye, just a cavity I am sure somebody has stuck a dick in. It wasn't me. What do you say to that? No, literally, I have nothing. So I'm like, all right, I want to erase this memory. Spoiler alert, didn't work. And I'm walking, and short people, if you are below my elbow, I cannot see you. And I bumped into Goldie. Oh, one person knows who Goldie is? All right. So Goldie's 85 years old and still stripping. And I don't know if you've ever walked in on Nana. Everybody here just had that mental image, because you can't unsee that. Y'all, she is shaking those things, and it looks like tennis balls and tube socks. Just. One of them got out of sequence. They wrapped around each other like a balloon animal. I go sit down at the bar, and they're like, cash only. It's a great day so far. I'm like, great. Let me get Mr. Boston's and PBR. I'm on a budget. So I'm drinking like I'm 15-year-old and in the woods, right? And this chick takes the stage above the bar and lights 2 matches. And I don't know if anybody's ever been naked and lighting matches, but that is never a good combination. She took the matches and put them in her nipples. And I don't mean where milk comes out, y'all. Not through a piercing, just in there. I don't maintain the pool. I'm just grateful to swim in it. I don't know how that works, but I don't think it's supposed to go like that. My friends are dying because I'm a foot taller than everybody, and I'm speechless for once in my life. I order a couple more beers and a couple more shots, and I sit there and I wonder how my life ended up here. Which in your 30s you do every night. Well, what happens an hour after you drink dark rum? You gotta poop. And not one of them clean poops. One of them you're wiping a brown marker poops. You know what I'm saying? See? I told you. Life-changing. So I have to go to the grossest bathroom I have ever been to, and I've deployed. So I walk up, and there's a John Wayne door. You know what I'm talking about? That. which means it doesn't lock. Now, I'm a shy pooper. It's kind of like a giraffe getting water, but different. There's a trough urinal and one toilet that my butt is not touching. So I do the hover. And ladies, y'all all know the hover. Guys, the hover is where you bend down, but your butt doesn't touch. Because I didn't have time for a bird nest, okay? And I'm sitting there, but I don't want, like, the door to open. So, like, I have to prop it with my foot, so I'm doing kind of this Shawn Michaels move.
Yeah.
Some of y'all get that one, some of y'all can suck it, all right? DX forever. And then it just happens, y'all, all at once. My stomach starts making whale noises, just... Y'all, I did not check the back ass blast area. I moved my foot, the shit-jectory had changed. Y'all, I pooped everywhere except in that toilet. I pooped on the wall, I pooped on the floor, I pooped on the toilet. And I'm like, all right, I gotta get out of here. This is not a good day. I'm wiping with both hands trying to get out of there, but it is very moist and it's like cleaning up an oil spill. Thanks, BP. And I eventually get things under control. And I walk out and I go to the bar and I buy 2 beers. And I bump into another short person because y'all are everywhere. And in one of the most rock star moves I have ever been a part of, this girl backs up against the handrail, takes off her prosthetic leg, snatches a beer out of my hand, pours it into her leg, cheers me and says, "Welcome to Claremont Lounge, motherfucker." Thank y'all. Y'all have been a lot of fun. I am Tall Trey Comedy. Y'all have a great night.